Hello, my dear children. Let us begin with your next chapter from your grammar, chapter number 6, conditionals. What do you mean by conditionals? See, the word itself is self explanatory. Condition, right? Certain conditions, which means like generally when we speak with our friends or even in our communication in a day to day life, many a times we use words such as if, right? That if I would have had this, then I would have done that. So many times we say if, no matter whatever is the reason behind the talk. So we basically, what do we try to express is that we actually mean by using the word if that certain conditions, that if I could have gone there, or if I could have done this, or if I would have worked hard, then I could have scored more mark in my examination, right? Likewise, there are so many conditions. So basically conditional is something, in simple language if I tell you, it's a condition, okay? It's a condition that has to be fulfilled before something happens or takes place, right? That's what conditional mean. Now, if you refer your text, a very good example is given right in the very beginning of the chapter. You see, it's written, if the rain stops, we will play. So there is a condition already mentioned, that if the rain stops, that means if the rain doesn't stop? Simple, we will not be able to play, correct? So the first clause is a condition, and then comes the second clause, right? It's the second clause, which we can say the main clause. So the main clause is dependent on the first clause, which is also said as if clause, right? Now, conditional sentences are of 4 types, and each type contains a different pair of tenses. We are already done with the chapter tenses. We have come across all the different, first of all, the main 3 categories of tenses, and also their subcategories, right? That means in total 12 different types of tenses. So here in conditional sentences, what happens is the tense pattern is in these sentences should be carefully understood by the very first thing. As I told you that there are 4 types of conditional sentences. The very first condition is, okay, let me try to make it simpler for you. Just listen properly, okay, and then you read the text, or you can refer the text later on. First try to understand. The first conditional sentence is where we describe a general truth or scientific facts, okay. I repeat, the first type of conditional sentence is a sentence where we talk about general truth, universal truth, and scientific facts. Now, there is a saying that if we love others, others love us, correct? So it's a general truth. And the most, another thing, if I give you another example about general truth, there is a very famous saying called, what you reap is what you sow. The way what you work for, the way you behave, definitely you will get the same thing in return. Now, if you do not concentrate in your studies, thinking that it's just an online class, if you are not serious about your studies, what happens during examination and during your result day? We all know, right? Now, the way you ignore your studies, later on your studies will ignore you. When you will get the question paper in your hand, those questions will ignore you, as you will not be able to write answers. So these are some general truth. So if we love others, others love us. If we work hard, we will definitely get success. Correct? If we do not study, we will fail. These are general truth. Now, next, as I told you, the very first condition is general truth and scientific fact. The next scientific fact is, now you have mobile phone, correct? So in a mobile phone, when you dial a number and press the call button, what happens? You can hear ringing, right? A bell starts ringing at the other end. So it's a scientific fact. Earlier, we did not have mobile phone, there were landline phones. So, and good example is mentioned in your text. If you lift the receiver and dial a number, a bell starts ringing at the other end. So that's a scientific fact. I hope you got an idea about describing the general truth and scientific fact. Now, the second type of conditional sentence. The second type of conditional sentences is basically where there is a probability, where there are chances likely to happen. See, I'm saying there are chances, okay? I'm not saying that it will happen for sure. Probability, likely, okay? It may happen or it may even not, right? It might not happen also. So, these sentences, I repeat, the second type of conditional sentences are used to describe conditions which may or may not be fulfilled. Example, if I get the scholarship, I will go abroad. So chalo theek hai, if I get the scholarship, so now the plan is, if I get, I will go abroad. Who knows, if I get, I may not even go to abroad. By the time I get scholarship, maybe something better opportunity will come here in my local place itself. So I may change my plan of going abroad, right? So it's not sure that I am going abroad, but it's just a probability, a likely, a chances, right? It may happen. So if I get the scholarship, I will go abroad. Another example is, which is mentioned in your text, we will dismiss him if he treats the customers rudely. We will dismiss him. So, but there is no assurity that he will be dismissed for sure. Who knows? Even after behaving rudely for the very first time, the person may seek apology, where he may be forgiven, maybe with an ultimatum, with a warning, and he may not be dismissed. Even that can be the situation, right? So it's not for sure that the person will be dismissed, but there are chances that he may get dismissed, he or she, whoever. We will dismiss him if he treats the customers rudely. Now, the second type of conditional, as I told you, probability, likely, it is also used when we have to express possibility. Possibility means likely, as I already told you. Even for permission or ability, suggestion, command, request, advice, and so on. Even in those cases, we may use this conditional clause of likely, probable, or probability, whatever you say. Now, if I need to express this second type of conditional clause in the form of permission, just listen to an example. If you have your identity card, you can come in. Okay, it's a permission that if you have your identity card, you can come in. But there is no assurance. Now, supposingly you got your identity card, okay, and while entering, you made some nuisance while entering into that area. You created a chaos. Now, what is the surety that you will be allowed to come in? Even after possessing an identity card, you may not be allowed to come in. Correct? But the chances are there that if you have, you can come in. Permission. Likewise, it can be also used to express ability. If there is some milk in the refrigerator, we can have some tea. So, if there is milk, then we can have tea. Are you understanding? I hope so. You are getting it. So now for this second type of conditional clause, that is either I'm talking about probability or likely or chances, okay, it says it may or may not happen. In this type of conditional sentences, the if clause, as I told you, the first clause is also described as the if clause, and the next is called the main clause. So in this type of conditional sentences, the if clause, we can use the simple present tense, we can also use the present continuous or present perfect tense. Listen to an example of simple present. If she finishes early, she will go home. Probability again, okay, it's not for sure. Now, if she finishes early, she will go home. But who knows, even after finishing early, she may be given another task, or even she may be allowed to go home, but she may say that no, let me continue my next work. Now, that is simple present. What about present continuous? If she is standing in the rain, she will catch cold. If she is standing, continuous, present continuous. And present perfect, if he has arrived at the station, he will be here soon. He has arrived, present perfect, recently. So if he has already, that means if he has already reached the station, so he'll be just with us within very couple of next few minutes. If he has arrived at the station, he will be here soon, present perfect. That means the person has already arrived, but just now he has arrived, present perfect. So he will very soon he'll be with us. So these are the first two different types of conditional sentences, or you can say that two different types in which conditional sentences can be expressed. We have two more types, but I shall not go in a hurry. I'll give you enough time, okay, so that you go through each and every line of your text, understand properly, read your textbook thoroughly, and gradually we will go to the next two different types of conditional sentences. All right, go through the text, okay, and do your duty, whatever has been assigned to you. Study well. God bless you.